Bro, how you do that?
Man, see, it wasn't intentional.
What do you think was going to happen?
I'll be honest with you guys. When I first started hearing these stories, it was boiling my blood. It was pissing me off. And I'll be honest with you, it's like the situations themselves were not the only thing that was doing it. It was not the main reason why I was, feeling this type of way. The reason why I was having a visceral reaction is because I realized that not only was this behavior being tolerated or approved of by the individuals participating, but by a larger community who were shaming an individual for having enough self-respect to leave a situation after an incident of cheating, because that's what it is. You can call it what you want to call it, but that's what it is. We like to talk about emotional cheating, X, Y, and Z, and then we like to write this off because, well, it's a celebrity and they're living out a fantasy and it should be okay, right? We write things off so long as it is meeting our own agenda, our own personal desire. Once it steps out of that bound, now it's problematic, right? Once it's, your partner doing it, now it's different. As long as it's you doing it, it's okay, right? We love them double standards. But essentially, I'm sure most of you guys have heard these stories that have been coming up about Briss Breezy, aka Chris Breezy, and his meet and greets. Now, he's been doing a $1,111 meet and greet where you can get a picture and a calendar. That's right, a whole calendar. Imagine that. 22 cents off a Temu calendar with just his pictures on it. And you can get a picture of your desire. You can do anything from, hold your cheeks to hold your cheeks. If you catch what I'm throwing. And so I basically want to get into this, not for the drama sake of it, but to do a deeper dive as far as, getting into this thing of celebrity worship, because that's a huge aspect of this, and where we are now culturally, where we are literally deifying these people to a place where we lose all common decency, as well as this shaming culture that we've created. Because, when it's all said and done, the man who made a decision to leave this relationship dynamic because his relationship was violated, literally in front of everybody, instead of finding support on the other side, which would have been the case in maybe any other point in history, at this point in history, the support is going towards the one who was perpetrating, the one who violated the relationship. And so I want to get into this from the horse's mouth, just so y'all really get to see what we're dealing with here on surface value. I'm not actually going to get into the video where it's happening. Instead, let's get a little perspective from the person who is initiating this in the first place, or I guess making a platform for it, right? So this is from Club Shay Shay. So again, I'm not saying that these are individuals that I co-sign, right? I'm not saying, oh, go watch Shay Shay. Though, I used to, and there's some stuff that's entertaining and some stuff that could be educational depending on the guest. But, I don't consume content outside of this format. I'm not interested in consuming content. I just, I'm interested in creating it and then sharing it with you guys. But in essence, whatever Shay Shay's on, I at least know that he was able to sit this man down and ask him, the straight up question. And so they get into it. So let's get into it.
Man, I read that this guy broke up with his girl. You called his girl up on stage and gave the young lady a lap dance. and he broke up with her. Bro, how you do that?
Man, see, it wasn't intentional.
What do you think was gonna happen?
See, I didn't know she had a guy.
That's her fault.
By the way, in a lot of hip hop culture, the idea of stealing your girl, and this brother right here has a lot of music that has that messaging in it. It like verbatim, right? I'm gonna steal your girl, I'm gonna take your girl. So to think that it's like he would care and that moral compass is there, absolutely obsolete. And by the way, if you're, Chris Brown fan or something like that, and this is, boiling your blood, that's too damn bad. You should not be worshiping celebrities to begin with.
That's her fault, because she knows she had a guy.
She should have said it. She definitely should have said it.
Mm-hmm.
My dancers pull up a girl on stage during our set, and we usually like to give the fans an opportunity, but sometimes it's very, very, very attractive women come on stage. So I'm like, okay, cool. So me grinding on them, they don't really have a problem with it. It's just, I guess she had a man there.
Right.
So, but I didn't know. I didn't find out till afterwards. I was like, man,
that brother right there is gone. That boy's faded. I don't know what he's on, but he's on one. So I get why he's a little jittery. Maybe that's his personality as well. All right. Shout out to the Tauruses. Maybe there's a little bit of social anxiety in there mixed in. But there you can tell there's a discomfort. The laughing, the giggling. First, I was like, is he trying to make fun of the situation? Like, yes, there's a part of him that actually doesn't really care, and then there's another aspect of him, which is I think he's nervous about the situation. So I just wanted to give that insight.
We should have just. Do we send him flowers or send her flowers?
Nah, she should have thought this. She should have said, nah. Yeah, she should. I mean, no.
Yeah.
Because the lady, see, if I'm out with a young lady, it's not my job to check the guy.
Yeah.
It's her job.
She should have been like, no, you know what?
There you go.
I can't come up. I'm with someone.
Right. And if a lady
Perfectly
check on me,
fine. We're not gonna be like, forget him.
Right, there you
we're
go.
gonna be like, okay, great.
There is truth to that, right? If you are the one who is in the relationship, you should be the one to create that boundary and say, nah, we're not going to go there. So obviously this was a person who wanted to do what they wanted to do, right? And again, those who were affirming it and those who might even be listening to this and affirming it still, you're the problem. If the person that you are dating, right, has some sort of affair, whatever it is, it's not your job to confront the person that they're having an affair with. It's your job to confront the one that you're dealing with right in front of you. And I never understood why, people would go to the other one and then keep the person that was the one who violated the situation. And again, my stance on any of these is, it's a hard boundary. It's very, very simple, straightforward. Violation of the relationship means relationship over. Simple as that. And that's just from a level of self-respect. I'm not going to be angry at you. I'm not going to go out there and slander your name or whatever it is. I'm going to tell the truth about the situation if asked. But when it's all said and done, it's like, you showed me where you stand. You show me your true colors, and, I can move accordingly. And I'll thank you for that because, I can live my life in peace knowing where I am. And so, I do believe in that one little snippet right there. I can stand behind that.
Right. And you'd have been okay. But now you'd have been like, come on. He won't mind. But I'm surprised. First of all, I commend him for going.
Yeah.
I mean, because not a whole lot of guys are going with their girls.
Yeah.
They might go, but
they go. Some of them go. They might
going
be in the back. They might be a little bit further back. Like, nah, you ain't getting front row.
Right.
He not finna look at you at all.
Okay, there's a whole commercial that's about to play out. We're not about to get into that. Wait, what was that last?
Further back, like, nah, you ain't getting front row. Right.
So again, even that, it's like, all right, that's the celebrity culture or celebrity worship aspect of it, right? We used to, and this ain't nothing new. We used to see, girls falling out when they saw Elvis, girls falling out, or people, grown men falling out when they were, watching Michael Jackson and things of that nature, hyperventilating when they saw. Now, again, maybe it's just because I have a bias when it comes to this, but I've never been impressed by no celebrity. I wasn't born in this, I wasn't born in the States. I was born overseas. I moved here when I was 10 years old. And so my baseline conditioning was like, yeah, we saw American media, but I didn't have like baseline programming in this country. However, I obviously adapted to the culture, et cetera, and this culture became a part of me. And I did find myself where I would pedestalize some people, but I realized that it was problematic when that person's opinion was meaning more than my own, when their worldview was becoming my own. Like a lot of these hip hop artists are like gods to the young man, and we take their word as the gospel. We take their word as absolute truth, and they can do no wrong in our eyes, even though they're doing the most wrong. Right? Dysfunction was seen as okay, as normal. And that's just also a byproduct of the culture that we built, which is normalizing dysfunction, right? So there's that aspect, but there's also this aspect of the aftermath of a situation like this. Mind you, this ain't the first situation. There has been a few of the very same meet and greet situations where, married women to fiancés to girlfriend, boyfriend type situations where you have the man leaving or the man staying. And it's always a mix and a medley of individuals who are, again, at least when I saw this was months ago when I first saw this, it was just a plethora of people who were defending this behavior. And again, that's what really got me. I was like, I thought it was going to be the opposite because I was like, okay, people are decent, but I was like, man, this is deep. And I was thinking to myself, okay, if this was the roles reversed, what would that be like? But then I realized, nah, bro, this is just a magnet and an attraction to the sort of, traumatized individuals, call it what it is, who have no level of self-respect. So they can obviously never respect anybody else. They can't respect the relationship because they don't respect themselves. And if they're okay with that sort of behavior in the relationship, it shows about where they stand, and then they use words that are shaming words such as jealous and insecure, which are real phenomenons, but we use these, right? We weaponize them in order to get somebody to do the things that we want them to. That's what that's about. They're using, you're just jealous, you're just insecure, that shouldn't be a problem, because they don't want to actually face the reality that this is not appropriate when you have made a bond, a covenant with an individual. Oh, but it's just girlfriend, boyfriend, that don't mean nothing. Okay, that shows what it means to you. A relationship means nothing to you, then you shouldn't be surprised if the outcome of it is it means nothing to you, which is you mean nothing to them because they mean nothing to you, and you'll be willing to overstep that boundary. And there's a crazier story of, a woman who was married, and she literally told her husband, like, if I had the chance, like, she's in her vows, she told her husband, the only reason I'm marrying you is because I couldn't get Chris Brown. That's really what she said. Everybody's laughing, ha ha, he he. You can see his little discomfort in his own body language, but he's put up with this for a long time. He's an individual who doesn't respect himself enough to leave the relationship. Not only that level of disrespect, she got her picture too. And there's a picture of literally, Chris Brown like holding her face up to his face like this, right? And she's just like lit up. And you think to yourself, this is a married woman at that point. And she put that in the carousel, like on her Instagram pictures. There was like wedding pictures, I guess she posted. And the first picture is that picture right there. Imagine being on the other side of a relationship like that. Again, you could only be an individual who is, you're a sadist. Like you're in love with pain. You have an addiction in essence to being hurt, or embarrassment or being ridiculed, which is again, same byproduct of what was there in your childhood. What did that look like for you to get to a place where you can't even value yourself enough to be respected, in that manner? So again, like, let's stop this thing of, trying to shame people for doing things that are based in self-respect. Because if it was you, trust me, it would be different. It's easy to say from the other side. And if you are somebody who's, like, it really wouldn't be a problem, I would also question, why not? What boundaries, what constitutes do you have in your relationship? Because otherwise it's not a relationship. It's not a monogamous one. It's an anybody relationship. This thing of, celebrity crushes, etc. I'm not into that. I don't play those games. Me and my girl don't play that. Like, we're in a real life relationship, and that's what it's about. If I came in, I got the celebrity crush, she would not look at me twice, vice versa. And again, we're shamed into believing that there's a problem with that. Oh, don't be so serious. Don't be so this, it's just a little bit of fun. No, this is real life. But again, this is the guy who also says, look, I'm probably going to feature in some films and things of that nature at some point in time, right? Within the entertainment space. And in the context of relationship, I'm never going to be making out with somebody on screen, doing certain type of scenes with somebody on scene. Absolutely not. Nah, but it's just acting. It's not acting to me. Maybe it's acting to you, and you can do what you want to do, but it's not acting to me. I have that level of reverence and respect for my relationship dynamic, and for myself, and for my family. So it's like, what do we stand on anymore? What do we stand on when this becomes normalized and, people are laughing it off and, oh yeah, it's just Chris Brown being Chris Brown. These ones just, they just having a little bit of fun. And yeah, that's a whole married woman. That's a whole, like fiance. That's a whole girlfriend, again, until it's you in the situation, it's easy to write off until it's Ice Spice having the meet and greets. And now, your man's over there getting a lap dance or whatever it is. And now it's going to be an issue. Now it's going to come up for real. Again, unless you lack that sense of self-respect, just call it what it is. Anyway, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let me know if you have anything you want me to do deep dives into. Again, if it's foolishness, I don't want to get into it. Like, that's why I didn't get into 100 clips of 100 different things going on, because it's not about that. It's about the point at hand, which is really opening up a different level of conversation, a different perspective that most people are afraid to speak on. So yeah, if you got anything else top of mind, top of heart, let me know. Till the next time, peace.
I used to be afraid of the dark, place unknown like a heart in their heart. I used to see my life in the bar. Now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. You got a feeling the time's not. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with my myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking.